Welcome back, True Seeker. The Astros have just closed out the Dodgers. Before the World Series began, I did like this to go to Game 7 with the Astros defeating the Dodgers. And I know that I changed it to Game 6 because I thought they'd give it to Verlander to close it out. So, what have I been saying since August? Look at what the final pitch was. It was the 52nd pitch by the reliever Morton. 52 is the number I've been talking about and why I said I like the Astros to win the World Series, which they've just done. A little bit surprised they didn't make the score 5-2, but they did it on the 52nd pitch. Again, as a reminder, Matt Harvey was the first pitcher to pitch in Houston after the flooding of Harvey, and his game was 52 days before the start of the World Series. The reason that matters is because the word flood in gematria equals 52. Houston flooded on a date with 52 numerology on August 27th, which was the 239th day of the year, which is the 52nd prime number. It was 27 years to the day of the death of Stevie Ray Vaughan, who's remembered for the album Texas Flood. Think about it. Since 1952, world militaries have admitted to being able to create flash flooding on command by doing chemistry in the skies. It is now 2017, 65 years later. 52 has been a big number in the history of man-made flooding from 1952 to the present. 52 years to the day of the Lynmouth flood, the same area of the UK was flash flooded. Look up this information about flash flooding in militaries. The U.S. government admitted to flash flooding Vietnam in Operation Popeye for 5 years straight throughout the war. Good way to attack people. In the book 1984, George Orwell says that weather warfare is the future weapon of the New World Order of that book. The reason that's funny is because June 25th, 2014, Sports Illustrated put out their magazine on George Orwell's birthday, June 25th, 2014, their magazine from Sports Illustrated, which I talked about this morning and several times in the last few weeks. That magazine said your 2017 World Series champs, the Houston Astros, Springer, number 4 is on the cover, who will likely be the MVP of this World Series. Remember in Game 4, number 4, Springer hit that home run for the first run on the 84th pitch. George Orwell, the author of 1984, United States of America equals 84. In that book, paraphrasing, it said all it took to control the people was films, sports, gambling, and beer. And isn't it true in the United States of America, which again equals 84? So George Orwell, he talks about sports and ruling over the people. He talks about weather warfare. Here we get the ultimate 1984 tribute with the Houston Astros. And what's funny is if you read the article that Sports Illustrated put out this morning about that article, they guaranteed that the Astros would win today. And if you read the article implies that the Astros should have won yesterday. Well, isn't that interesting? Because yesterday was the day that I changed my prediction from Game 7 to Game 6. And you know what, you guys? I really think, and you might think this is arrogant or you might think this is crazy, I really think if I had not put out that video 48 hours before the game was played, I think we might have seen Houston close out the Dodgers yesterday. Notice I called the score perfectly. So anyway, could be wrong about that, but you guys have to realize I've had the eye of the national media for years now for what I've done predicting sports before it's happened. Said why I like the Astros to beat the Dodgers in the World Series after the Tuna fires. I said why I like the Astros to win the World Series, and then I upgraded the Dodgers to be the team after the Tuna fires. In spring training, I said why I like the Astros in the American League. If not the Astros, I said I like the Tigers, maybe as a sleeper team. Look at how they got Justin Verlander from the Tigers after 13 seasons. Big number on this series. LA 13. Houston and LA also both equal 41, the 13th prime. But here it is. The 52nd pitch, the number I've been talking about. That day that Matt Harvey was the first pitcher in Houston, Fox News ran a story about a woman. That woman said She felt like she won the World Series because her home wasn't destroyed by the flood. And I thought, what an interesting thing to say. 52 days before the start of the World Series, Fox News runs this story. And now here we are. They've won the World Series on November 1st. Again, tonight, Houston was in New York. New York in gematria equals 111. It's November 1st. The Dodgers used to be in New York. Houston beat New York 119-97. Difference of 22 runs, the master builder number. If you write out master builder, it sums to 147, just like World Series equals 147, just like Houston Astros equals 147. If you write out November, it equals 94. If you write out 94 as a word, it equals 147. So the Astros end up closing it out in November. You know? For Tony, tell it like it is. I've been telling you, brother, you got to learn to pay attention. Water beats fire. The occult. This is where all this knowledge comes from. Gematria is part of the occult knowledge. It's part of Hermeticism and alchemy, where water beats fire. These people go by the occult knowledge. So if you understand that, you should understand why the Astros beat the Dodgers. And, you know, Truth Seeker, I really do wish I didn't put out the video for Game 6, only because I really do think the Astros would have closed it out yesterday, and then it would have looked even better in my book with the perfect alignment. But it's already going to look good enough. All this 52, it's been a 52 show the whole playoffs with the Astros. All of you who hate on my work, it's time to pull your head out of your behind, okay? I broke the code in 2013, been exposing it convincingly ever since. Called more sports championships, college and pro, than you've seen anyone do in your life. You know, this year with the baseball, it wasn't my best work ever, but it wasn't bad, was it? You know, called the right team, called them from August. And really from spring training. I wasn't sure that the Astros would win in spring training, but I liked them to be there. And they made it, and they won. After the whole flooding thing, I said why they were the team. This is the way it works. The news and the sports are scripted together. Yesterday, the thing in Manhattan, you had the car going down, they call it Houston Street, but it's spelled just like Houston. You had the witness with the Houston ball cap on, you know? Manhattan equals 29 like Astros. The Astros just beat the Dodgers, who hadn't been in the World Series for 29 years. This is how it works. Also last night, as a reminder, LA was facing Detroit in the NBA. This is the 113th World Series. The Lakers won with 113 points. Detroit lost with 93. Verlander just came over from Detroit. Verlander had 93 pitches. Justin equals 93, just like Saturn, the keeper of time. From today to Verlander's birthday is 111 days later. It's November 1st, or a span of 112 days. Houston in gematria equals 112. They just got their 112th win to win the World Series. The fitting number for Houston, you know, tightly scripted. Had they won yesterday, it would have been 112 days from Verlander's birthday. Today's a span of 112 days. I think today was Plan B, Truth Seeker. Until next time.